Hi, everyone, and welcome to another MiniJam episode of CinemaJam, where we talk about the most recent movies that are coming out to the theaters or are coming out to your streaming service of choice. Today, we're diving in the latest and possibly the most complicated, or at least one of the most complicated recent movies from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Thunderbolts, or as it has been retitled after the launch weekend, The New Avengers. The film drops us in the chaotic life of, well, is she a hero, an assassin, an ex-Black Widow? Well, I we really don't understand what she's doing, but she's basically the protagonist and is Yelena Belova, played by the always incredible Florence Pugh. And let me tell you, after everything she's been through, from at least after everything that has happened in Earth, celestials falling from the sky, the blip, and a very weird Christmas season or TV season where she was hunting Hawkeye. The movie makes it clear from the very first minute that Yelena is depressed. And we are supposed to be catching up, especially because from, I guess, minute 10 or something like that, you start seeing a lot of other people with a lot of backstory that you're supposed to understand. And for a moment, honestly, I was a little bit depressed because there was so many characters showing up in the screen at the same time. And you were supposed to get a lot of the backstories of this team that is forming up in the screen, the Thunderbolts or New Avengers, whatever you want to call it, or this ragtag of anti-heroes that we're seeing in the screen. I mean, you're supposed to get information from basically 4 different TV shows and 7 different Marvel movies if you really want to understand what is the background of each of these individuals. But at least this movie doesn't make it as hard as, for example, the last Captain America movie, A Brave New World, that really required you basically to watch the 8th episode season of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So at least this one, it will help you understand the characters, but it won't force you to watch it, and you get a better idea of what is happening in the screen. So I think, yes, this movie actually wants you to know a lot of the backstory of the characters, but you don't need a PhD in Marvel lore to understand everything what is happening. And the Thunderbolts actually manage you to give you just enough information on each member of this misfit crew. It does read really fast. So in the end, I think it does a good job. What I really appreciated is how the film introduces the anti-heroes. These are, as I mentioned before, deeply flawed people who want to do better, but they don't really know how to do it. So the movie finds memorable ways to handle the conflict that don't involve punching bad guys. In fact, we learn early that throwing a fist is rarely the best solution for their problems. A key part of this type of movie where everyone basically is an anti-hero is that the cast is very important. And this team has fantastic chemistry. Florence Pugh is always a powerhouse. I have never seen her fake like a performance. She doesn't fake a single moment on the screen. I actually feel like what she's going through. And even when Yelena is weighted down by depression, Pugh captures your attention and gives you something to root for. I also really like Wyatt Russell as U.S. agent or John Walker. He brings the same unhinged energy we love or hate from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV series. And I also really appreciated the acting of Lewis Pullman, that is Bob. And the less you know about the character, I think it's actually better. But I think it has a very interesting backstory as well. And that's basically the only new character in the movie. But not every actor or character clicks. I really like Sebastian Stan's acting, especially in new projects. He's a very diverse and prolific actor. But he has been playing Bucky Barnes for over a decade, and he's always solid, but there is not really much more that he can add to the character. So he actually starts to feel a little bit stale. And his role as a senator, it was like aimless and frankly a little confusing. He still acts as a secret agent and not really like a politician. So like, okay, what is your real role here is not really clear. And however, the biggest disappointment for me was the two brilliant comedic actresses that are completely lost in what the script gives them. That's Geraldine Bissoananta. She's a great young talent. I actually love the movies where I have seen her as a very young kid or in high school or college. And she's a very good talent. But she has zero chemistry with Julia Louis-Dreyfus. And the thing is that they share the screen times almost like 90% of the movie. Speaking about Julia Louis-Dreyfus, also an actress that I really love. Her character, Valentina de Fontaine, is supposedly one of the main villains and is one of the weakest parts of the movie. Her grand plan is more like something just to force everyone, all of the heroes to come together. There is no real ambition or menace to her character. It feels like a less interesting, less powerful reprisal of her role in Beep. And it's a real shame because these two talents and their bad jokes just fall flat. Thankfully, the movie also does have a solid source of comic relief, that is David Harbour as Red Guardian. He does get traditional setup punchline jokes, and he nails every single one of them. His humor is a welcome break from the darker, more cynical themes of the movie. And so what is the final verdict? I do really like the movie. It's far more interesting than most of the superhero films that I have seen in the last 3 years or so. The main villain has a complex and compelling background and is actually very scary. I wouldn't take my kids to these movies. I probably, it is a well-rated PG-13 movie, so keep that in mind. And the less you know about the main villain, I think you will enjoy it better. So I really like it. But what truly sets the Thunderbolts apart is it does reach an emotional depth I haven't seen from a Marvel movie in a long time. Probably the closest one will be Avengers Endgame, maybe Black Panther, the original Black Panther, are the only ones that actually come to mind, to be honest. And that was fueled by the melodrama and death and all that. So this feel a little bit different, like they earned the emotional depth in this movie. So I really like it. So if we go through the traditional CinemaJam rating, basically, did I like the movie? Will I watch it again? Will I recommend it? I actually say yes to the three of them. Yes, it didn't feel like a waste of time. I was really entertained in the movie. I will probably see it when it comes out in Disney Plus again. I just want to catch up to some of the themes. I want to check it out again. I would recommend it with the caveats that I said about it. The themes of the Dark Undertones can be a little bit scary for some people. So maybe be careful and keep that in consideration when you're going to see it. So thank you. That's all for the review of the Thunderbolts movie. Let me know your thoughts. If you get a chance to see the Thunderbolts in action in the movie theater, you can reach out to us in YouTube, in this channel, and you can also reach out to us Facebook and Instagram, where we are CinemaJam Pod. Keep watching movies, and until next time.